February 2020, Melly was involved in a multi-inmate fight inside the day room of his area unit and was given a DR for his role in the fight. October 2020, placed on a room restriction for refusing to go back to his cell as he was trying to hide while on the phone.
And developing now, there's a new push to get rapper YNW Melly out of jail. He's currently awaiting retrial for two childhood friends, but a new lawsuit alleges he's being held in inhumane conditions.
The high-profile rap lawyer Drew Findling just made waves after revealing his next big move, getting Melly out of jail and winning big. It all kicked off when news broke that Melly wouldn't be going to trial for witness tampering anymore after prosecutors suddenly dropped the charges. The Florida rapper was supposed to face court on January 21st, but during a hearing on the 20th, the prosecutors backed down and tossed the whole case out. That was a massive win for Melly, and Drew wasted no time updating everyone on what's next. He wrote that they're now focused on getting Melly released from custody, where he's been stuck under extreme, restrictive conditions for way too long. The statement went on to say that with the state backing off, Melly's release will finally let him fully participate in building his defense for the next round of legal battles. And trust, they're planning to fight hard, but things take an even wilder turn. Melly's legal team just filed a lawsuit against the sheriff's office, accusing them of cruel treatment and demanding his immediate release. Melly's claiming he hasn't been allowed to see or even talk to his family in 3 whole years, which set off a wave of reactions from the rap community. One artist jumped online saying, "I like what I'm hearing right now. Shout out that boy Melly, man. Free him. He been in there too long." Supporters say the way he's been treated is totally unfair. Stuck in a freezing cold cell, barely getting edible food, and cut off from almost everyone. Things are heating up fast. Melly's mom, Jamie, sat down for a raw and emotional interview that shocked everyone. Her words painted a dark and heartbreaking picture of what Melly's been living through behind bars, like he might not hold on much longer. She described how her son hasn't even been allowed to touch the jail phone or open his own mail, leaving him completely cut off from the outside world.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
During the interview, Jamie said she just wants something better for her son and confessed how deeply broken she feels seeing him suffer like this.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless.
Her pain was obvious, and it made a lot of people stop and think about what's really going on. But once the interview hit the media, it caused a storm. Commentators and fans flooded social media with mixed reactions, and Charleston White jumped in too, stirring controversy by saying that Melly deserves the harsh treatment because of the crimes he's accused of.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
The tension around Melly's situation just exploded even more. Even Boozy had something to say about the whole situation, and he showed real support for Melly's mom. He spoke out, saying he feels for her deeply. All the pain, all the stress she's been forced to deal with while watching her son fight for his life in jail. His words hit hard and showed that not everyone's turning their back on Melly's family. Meanwhile, with the lawsuit starting to lean heavily in Melly's favor, his lawyer Drew Findling kept pushing the momentum even further. He laid it all out for the judge, pointing out how federal agents literally had Mariah lined up as a key witness who was supposed to testify that Melly had committed witness tampering. But then, out of nowhere, prosecutors dropped the case completely. Drew didn't hold back, saying it made no sense at all. The state claimed Melly had been tampering for years, but the moment they got their star witness, they suddenly backed off. Even crazier, when Mariah returned to the U.S., they arrested her right away, yet never used her in the case.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
The courtroom tension was off the charts. With the feds officially dropping the witness tampering charges, the whole industry started buzzing. Melly's mom couldn't hold back her joy. She jumped online posting, "God is good and he hears your prayers." Fans flooded her comments with support, celebrating what felt like a major step forward. Even 50 Cent chimed in, giving props to Melly's powerhouse lawyer by writing, "Drew Findling is a bad man, impressed by how Drew keeps beating these tough cases. But behind all that celebration, there might be something deeper going on." Reports revealed that in a 5-page memo, prosecutors admitted they dropped the witness tampering case to protect some key jail call evidence. Evidence they say is vital for proving consciousness of guilt in Melly's double murder trial. Basically, the state didn't want to risk losing those crucial recordings since the issue over whether the jail calls can even be used in court hasn't been settled yet. If they pushed too hard and the evidence got thrown out, it could have blown their whole case apart, maybe even led to an acquittal. So instead, they backed off for now, keeping their cards ready for the big 2027 trial. Prosecutors hit Melly with some serious accusations, claiming he was tied to witness tampering and so-called street team operations meant to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from ever testifying in his double murder case. Court documents revealed financial records showing that Hamilton allegedly received over $31,000 from Melly's management team and close associates, plus extra help buying a Mercedes, even though she reportedly had no source of income. That alone raised plenty of eyebrows. But it doesn't stop there. Prosecutors say jail calls, surveillance footage, and even inmate kites, secret notes passed inside the jail, show Melly running a coded relay system through 2 inmates, James Howard and Terrence Mathis, to get messages to the outside world. Once he lost his phone privileges, he allegedly found new ways to keep communication flowing. The files even say he sent recorded messages to his team, including co-defendant Bortlen, using nicknames and coded words to keep Hamilton from showing up in court. These claims painted a picture of some serious behind-the-scenes maneuvering. But what really set things off was when Juvie's father spoke out in an interview years back. That's when some of these shocking details started surfacing.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
it turned out to be a calculated move by prosecutors to drop those witness tampering charges. Smart on their end, but also a huge relief for Melly since that's one less case hanging over his head. Still, there's strategy behind it. The state wants to squeeze every bit of info they can from Mariah, and now even Bortlen for the double murder trial without spoiling anything by revealing too much in the tampering case. That's exactly why they decided to pull the plug on those charges. But here's where things take a wild twist. Bortlen has officially flipped sides. Reports came out saying he cut a deal with the feds, agreeing to a plea and a proffer, which basically means he's talking. His sentence, 10 years behind bars, plus 6 years of probation, minus any time he's already served. And since he's now cooperating, that could mean serious trouble for Melly. 2 people who were once close to him might now be helping the other side. That's a dangerous setup. DJ Academics broke it down even further, explaining that during the hearing, the judge said for both charges Bortlen pled no contest to, he had to lay out a factual story that matches the crime. In other words, he has to describe what really happened and how he played a part as an accessory after the fact. Academics summed it up perfectly, calling it a Gunna-type plea. Except with the proffer, he can't just say, "Yes, ma'am." He's got to sing like Frank. The courtroom tension just went sky high after that revelation. Once Bortlen admits that he acted as an accessory, trying to plant fake evidence and stage the scene to look like a random drive-by, everything changes. That confession alone would prove the drive-by story was all a cover-up and that Melly was the only other person on the scene who could have been involved. Things are getting real now. A seasoned lawyer even shared his take on the situation, saying flat out that Bortlen's plea deal is so favorable that there's no way around it. He'll have to give up something major on Melly to hold up his end of the bargain. Basically, if he wants that lighter sentence, he's got to talk. Meanwhile, both sides kept clashing in court over whether Melly should be granted bond, while that separate lawsuit against the sheriff's office keeps dragging on. The feds stood firm, arguing to the judge that Melly's way too dangerous to be released. They claimed that not only is he a flight risk, but they also showed the court messages where he allegedly admits to what happened.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
To make things worse, prosecutors presented a video that's been haunting Melly's defense. Footage taken just hours after Sack Chaser and Juvie passed away. In it, Melly looks totally carefree, even dancing in a parking lot like nothing had happened.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
The clip shocked everyone in the courtroom and made the tension between both sides explode. Things got even worse for Melly when new footage surfaced, and this one might be the toughest blow yet. Cameras reportedly caught him getting into the back left seat of the Jeep right before everything went down. That tiny detail turned out to be huge, because detectives later determined that the fatal shots that took out Sack Chaser and Juvie were fired from left to right inside the car. That means the gunfire came directly from the exact spot where Melly was sitting. It's a detail that fits perfectly with the prosecution's version of events, and it's not looking good for his defense team. To lock things in even more, the feds brought in Juvie's mother, someone who actually knew the YNW crew personally. She reportedly confirmed that it was indeed Melly who got into that back left seat. That statement alone hit the courtroom like a bombshell. Trying to shake up the prosecutor's case, Melly's defense team fired back hard. They pointed out that even the detectives themselves admitted they couldn't get an exact reading of how the whole incident really went down, all because the weapon used in the crime was never recovered.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
That missing piece left a big gap in the investigation, and Melly's lawyers used it to raise serious doubts about the state's version of events. But just when it seemed like the defense might have found some breathing room, things took a dark turn. During the first Melly trial, federal agents raided Bortland's house, and what they discovered instantly raised alarms. The evidence they found there had prosecutors thinking they might finally be closing in on the missing pieces of the story. It was revealed that when investigators searched Bortland's house, they stumbled on something wild: hand-drawn notes from one of his courtroom appearances. The photos showed that Bortlen had actually sketched out where each juror sat during trial, complete with personal descriptions of what they looked like. Prosecutors immediately jumped on it, claiming it was proof that Bortlen and Melly might have been plotting to influence or tamper with the jurors in hopes of securing a not guilty verdict.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
The discovery sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Now, with Bortlen officially cooperating with the feds, things are getting even more dangerous for Melly. Since he's on their side, he can answer every single question the investigators throw at him. And they've got one big one they're dying to confirm. Why did Fredo Bang pick up Melly that night on the side of the road? That mystery moment could become a key piece of the whole case. But there's more. Prosecutors aren't dropping the pressure. They're reportedly planning to replace the old tampering charges with a new aggravating factor, claiming that Melly carried out the crime in furtherance of a street organization. They even pointed to a photo of Melly with Young Thug as supposed proof, linking him to what they call the Red Street Team. It's a bold move by the feds, and it's adding even more heat to a case that's already explosive. In a shocking twist, Melly reportedly didn't even care if the feds decided to use that new evidence against him. His attitude left everyone stunned, but his lawyers, they were definitely not on the same page. They knew that if the evidence got admitted, it could make Melly's situation way worse if he ends up being found guilty. The tension between him and his legal team was so bad, the whole courtroom felt it. News outlets went wild after reports surfaced that Melly and his attorneys were actually arguing in front of everyone during the hearing. Cameras even caught the moment. Melly looked furious, raising his voice while his team tried to calm him down.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client must proceed.
People sitting in court overheard him saying, "I don't care. I'm not in a team. They can't prove that."
I'm aware of 924-071.
call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the president of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
That statement sent the media into a frenzy, adding even more drama to a case already overflowing with controversy. And now, things might get even messier. Rumor has it the feds plan to bring in a former O-Block member who allegedly told investigators that Melly once reached out to King Von for advice on how to deal with certain people before everything went down. The two were close before Von passed and before Melly got locked up. And if you know King Von's history, it's not hard to see why Melly would have turned to him for guidance.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
This case keeps taking new turns, and it's far from over. If you're keeping up with this wild story, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment. Let's talk about what you think really went down.